An officer should respect your right to legally carry. But what happens if an officer finds out you are carrying, he gets antsy, and now he draws down on you? What happens when, in that split second, you're frozen, your heart's pounding, and you have to decide what to say and what to do before you make your next move? In 2025, the United States Supreme Court changed all the rules. They've made it crystal clear. Everything you do before the officer draws down on you can decide whether you walk away free or not at all. For decades, courts have judged police shootings by only looking at one little slice of the encounter. It's known as when the moment the trigger was pulled. In fact, the courts ended up referring to it as the moment of threat rule. If the officer could say, "I felt endangered," that was it. They didn't have to answer for any decisions or actions that led up to that moment. That's like letting a quarterback throw an interception, but only grading him on the last step before the throw. Everything else, the bad reads, the missed blocks, completely ignored. All of this ended in 2025 in the United States Supreme Court case known as Barnes versus Felix. Here's what happened. A constable in Texas pulled over a man by the name of Ashton Barnes for unpaid tolls, a minor violation. During the stop, Barnes actually decided to drive away. The constable, Deputy Felix, jumped onto the hood of Barnes's car, and as it was moving, he fired shots into the windshield, and ultimately it ended Barnes's life. Now here's what's important. Before this case made it to the Supreme Court, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals said that they were only going to analyze this at the moment the shots were fired and ignore everything else leading up to the shots. This is critical because they ignored the fact that Deputy Felix put himself in harm's way by jumping onto the moving car from the very beginning. Thankfully, the United States Supreme Court, under a unanimous court opinion written by Justice Kagan, said no, that's not how this is going to work. To decide now if police force is reasonable, you must consider all the circumstances, including everything that leads up to the point where shots were fired or force was used.